Okay, this example is for section 8-4, which is page 440. It is number 5. It is a problem that is on your homework. And so we're going to do this example, and it asks, given the surface area, which I've got written here, the surface area equals 803.84 centimeters squared, what is the volume of the sphere? So here we have a ball, which is a sphere, and it says use 3.14 for pi, round to the nearest whole number. Now, in this case, if we want to find the volume, again, we need the radius, and we do not have the radius. We have the surface area. So we're going to have to use the surface area formula for a sphere to help us to find the radius. So the formula for that, surface area equals 4 pi r squared. So surface area equals 4 pi r squared. So now I'm going to use that formula to help me find the radius. And so I'm going to first of all plug in the surface area, that is 803.84 equals 4, and then I'm going to put in 3.14 for pi, and then I'm going to leave then my r in there because that's what I'm trying to find is the radius. So we have r squared. So we need to first multiply 4 times the 3.14, so that'd be 803.84 equals 4 times 3.14 is going to give me 12.56, and then we have r squared. Now I want to get the r squared by itself, so now I'm going to divide by 12.56 to both sides. And 803.84 divided by 12.56 is going to end up to give me 64. And on this side, these are going to divide out, and it leaves me then just r squared. Now, we don't want r squared, we want r. So we're going to have to take the square root of both sides. And the square root of 64 is going to give me 8, and the square root of r squared would give me r. So r ends up to equal 8, and that would be centimeters. So now I have my radius, which I needed that to help me then find the volume. So I'm going to take that over here, and I'm going to write r equals 8 centimeters so that I have my radius there. And again, I'm running out of space, so I'm going to have to erase, and then we can find the volume. So I take this off. And now we are going to find the volume. And so the first thing I need to do is write down the formula for volume of a sphere. And the volume of a sphere, V equals 4/3 pi r cubed this time. All right, so that is the formula. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Now I can take my radius, I can plug that in, and now then I can find my volume. So now I plug in the radius. So I've got 4/3. I'm going to leave pi in there for right now. And then I'm going to put in my 8 for the radius, and then I've got to cube that. So volume equals 4/3 pi. And then 8 times 8 times 8 is going to give me 512. And so 8 cubed is 512. And so now I'm going to get my 4/3 and my 512 side by side, and then I'm going to put pi at the end. It's all multiplication, so it doesn't matter. I can move these around. And so now I've got 4/3 times the 512. And so now I can take 4 times the 512, which is going to give me 2,048. and then it's still going to have the 3 divided by 3, and then we still have our pi symbol. And then I take and divide the 2048 by 3, and that gives me 682.66666 repeating. So that's going to keep going on, pi. And now I'm going to take and plug in now my 3.14 for pi, and I'm going to multiply then those two together to get my answer. And in the problem it wanted us to round to the nearest whole number, so here we'll go ahead and multiply those together. That's going to be 2,143 point, and it ends up like 5733 and keeps going on. And so that means then they want to round to the nearest whole number, so that would be here at the 3. I look, it's a 5, so that's going to raise that and to 3 to a 4, so it's going to be 2,144, and that would be centimeters. And since we are finding volume, it is always units cubed. So to the nearest whole number, we found our volume of the sphere. It ended up to be 2,144 centimeters cubed. So anytime you are given, you know, sometimes they give you the circumference when we're dealing with like a cylinder. Here they gave us the surface area and we had to find the radius. With the cylinder, they gave us the circumference, we had to find the radius before we can find the volume. So in this case, with they give us the surface area, we've used the surface area formula to find the radius, and then we could plug in the radius and find our volume. And so this is example number 5. It is one of those in your book.